Hello and welcome to Mankato, Minnesota. You're watching the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. I'm Jim Flanagan here on the Gremlins Network. Happy to have you with us from wherever you may be. I want to say a quick thank you to our production crew, Luciano Lofrano and his wife Carol, doing all of the streaming production. Hope you'll enjoy the broadcasts on the weekend. We'll be here through the end of this one on Sunday for the Gremlins games. Looks like 5 games or thereabouts. Hope you can plan to spend part of your weekend with us. This is the first game for the Gremlins. It's an 11 o'clock local time start. And we are just underway with the first pitch. Andrew Kirkpatrick, rise ball in for a swinging strike. Sam Neiman is the batter for Marchio Sause. Marchio, last year's ISC2 Tournament of Champions winner. Playing some pretty good ball of late. Played well in a tournament last weekend. Knocked off the Ostrander team, which is higher ranked than them. Ostrander, of course, with USA national team pitcher Brad Kilpatrick. So Marchio playing some pretty good ball of late. Let's set the Gremlins for you defensively. It's a familiar cast of characters. Around the corner over at third, Jerome Remaki. Shortstop Cole Evans. Second baseman Ladislao Malarchuk. And over at first, Eric Ochoa. Behind the plate, Nick Mullins. And as we said in the circle, veteran Australian pitcher Andrew Kirkpatrick. In the outfield, left to right, Matthew Waugh. Benny Noka in center. And over in right field, Brian Avery. Blake Hunter will be the designated pit player for the Gremlins when they come to bat. Down on strikes goes Neiman, so 1 out. That'll bring up Damon Creasy. Tries to check his swing. They appeal to first, and no, he didn't go. Creasy, a youngster out of New Zealand from the Wellington area, played in the 23 and under World Cup recently. Little change, slurve on that one, just missing away. Comes inside with that one for a called strike right on the inside edge. 20 teams in this tournament. We're at the Caswell Park facility in Mankato, Minnesota, just about 90 minutes down the road from Minneapolis-St. Paul. Swing and a miss on a rise ball away from Creasy. So that'll even the count at 2-2. Just underway in this one. Number 1 ranked New York Gremlins taking on Marchio Sause from Minnesota. The Gremlins currently on a 25-game win streak. They dropped their very first game of the season, and they have not lost one since. They have won 5 straight tournaments in the process. That one's lifted out into shallow center field. It's going to drop in front of Inoka for a single. So the first base hit of the game for Marchio Sause. That'll bring Juan Platner to the plate. Juan, the catcher for this Minnesota squad. Platner comes from Argentina. Also competed in the 23 and under World Cup recently. Looks at one right down the middle of the plate for a called strike. Talking about win streaks, if you're wondering who has the record, I'm interested to hear from you. Don't know what the current Fastpitch record is, but I have to think 25 in a row by the Gremlins has got to be right at the top or right near the top. If you want to make comparisons to Major League Baseball, you've got to go all the way back to 1916 when the New York Giants won 26 games. So with a win here, the Gremlins could tie that all-time record. Big roundhouse rise ball up out of the zone. Platner chases, so he's down on strikes. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kirkpatrick. And the batter will be the DP, Cody Gibbons. Gibbons looks at a rise ball up out of the zone. Gibbons, another one of the pitchers on this Marchio Sause squad, a youngster, just 18 years of age, has already played in the international competitions. He started that when he was 14 or 15, so despite his tender years. Some good experience already. He pitched last night in their game against Pueblo, came away the winner in that one. Pueblo Bandits were ranked number 22 in the world rankings last night. I believe Marchio coming in right at 23. So a pretty even match, but it was the Sausage squad that came away with the win. Back on the subject of win streaks, the American League record, 2017 Cleveland Indians, they had 22 in a row. So the Gremlins have already eclipsed that record, working on the all-time major league record. Pitches in on the outside edge for a called strike. Swing and foul tip, just missed that one. Funny story about those New York Giants of 1916, though. Even though they won 26 in a row and had another win streak during the season of 17 in a row, they wound up finishing 4th in the National League standings that year. High hopper, that one's going to be up the middle, coming around second. On his way to third is Creasy. Gibbons with a 2-out single, so runners at the corners. So Kirkpatrick had to come in with a pitch. There you see on the replay. And just a little bouncer up the middle. So first and third, it's Creasy at third, Gibbons at first, and the batter will be the namesake for this team, Dominic Marchio, son of the skipper and sponsor of the team. Dominic is the first baseman for the Sausage squad. Looks at a good over-the-top drop by Kirkpatrick on the outside edge. In again for a called strike on the inside edge. Kirkpatrick comes into this game with an 8-1 record. He has 50-plus innings of work, as does the young Australian star Jack Besgrove. Both of them with more strikeouts than innings pitched. And speaking of strikeouts, there's the third in the inning as Marchio left standing. For Marchio Sausage in the top half of the first inning, they score no runs, a couple of hits, 2 men left. We'll head to the home half of the first inning, get our first look at the number 1 ranked New York Gremlins, and be back right after this. Let's set the Marchio Sausage team for you defensively. Around the corner, it'll be Tomas Machuca over at third. Sam Neiman will be at short, Joe Newton at second, and Dominic Marchio over at first base. In the outfield, left to right, Corey Stevens in left, Damon Creasy in center, and Carlos Lugo over in right field. Behind the plate is Juan Platner, as we mentioned, out of Argentina. And in the circle, a familiar face to many of you USA softball fans, Joel Cooley. Stepping in for the Gremlins will be Matthew Waugh. He'll be followed by Jerome Remaki. Benny Noka will hit third, Eric Ochoa fourth, Cole Evans fifth, Ryan Avery sixth, Blake Hunter seventh, Ladislao Malarchuk eighth, and Nick Mullins in the 9 spot. First pitch from Cooley's in on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Matthew Waugh, one of the leading hitters. He's the engine that gets this offense for the Gremlins going. Comes in with a .415 average and pops one just off the glove of Joe Newton. Finds its way into right field and then alertly takes the extra base. So Waugh with a leadoff single. The ball deflected off the glove, and as is the case so often when that happens, a little slow dribble off the glove that gives the base runner a chance to move up, and that's exactly what Matthew Waugh does on that play. Here's Jerome Remaki. Remaki already with a most valuable tournament award during this season. He has been one of the leading run producers. He comes in hitting .365 and leading the team in home runs with 7. He and Benny Noka at the top of that list. Inoka at the top of the RBI totals too. Almost unfair to Benny Noka that follows him. It seems like every time Benny comes up, it's with the bases empty. Remaki with 3 3-run homers already on the season. 2 of those came on the final day at the Peligro Cup in New York City last month. He had a 3-run shot in the semifinal and a 3-run shot in the championship game. Talk about rising to the occasion. 1-1 pitch off the plate outside. Big part of the story for this Gremlin offense, obviously they're putting up some huge numbers, and the offensive totals from top to bottom of the batting order downright gaudy, but also a lot of walks they are drawing. They really make the pitchers work. Sort of a double-edged sword if you're a pitcher having to face this Gremlin team. You want to pitch carefully because of the power and talents of some of these hitters, but if you get a little bit too careful, you wind up walking some, give away enough free passes, and instead of scoring a couple 3 runs, next thing you know it's 5 or 6 and you've got a big hill to climb. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Remaki, just off the plate outside, so 3-2. Advantage Remaki. Benny Noka on deck. Cooley now set, 3-2 pitch to Remaki, misses away, and as we talked about, another walk for Remaki, another one for the Gremlins. That'll bring Benny Noka to the plate. Eric Ochoa on deck. Benny comes in with a .371 average. He's got 7 home runs. He and Remaki at the top of the home run list. Also at the top of the hit list, he's got, or second in hits with 23. Waugh has 27, Remaki 23, and Inoka 23. Add 21 by Ochoa on deck, and you've got a handful if you're a pitcher like Joel Cooley. First pitch taken for a ball, so 1-0 on Inoka. In for a called strike. Good location by the big right-hander. The pitchers for Marchio Sausage, similar, I guess, in the sense that Cooley, the veteran, and Cody Gibbons, the youngster. On the Gremlin side, of course, Kirkpatrick, the veteran, and Jack Besgrove, the 19-year-old youngster. High hopper. He'll cut it off, bounces away from the shortstop, but it's Marchio coming over from first base to keep Matthew Waugh at third. One of those balls you had to wait forever to come down. You know you're not going to have a play. You just want to pick it cleanly and not give up the run, as you saw on the replay. So an infield single for Inoka. He's at first. Remaki at second. Waugh at third. Bases loaded, nobody out. And here comes Eric Ochoa. Ochoa originally from the Mexicali area of Mexico, now in San Diego, California, where he makes his home. Little slow roller to second off the glove of Newton. Coming home to score is Matthew Waugh, and right behind him is Remaki. So Newton not able to pick it up cleanly. Ochoa aboard on the error. And the Gremlins checking in with 2, as you saw it there on the replay. There's the replay again. Not an especially hard hit ball. I think he was watching the runners and didn't pick it up cleanly. Here's Cole Evans. Evans hitting .357 on the year. So Wah and Ramaki checking in with runs. Inoka over at third, and Ochoa on the other corner at first. Check swing by Evans. Evans with 20 hits on the year, 5 home runs, so he's up near the top. The 9 players in the batting order today account for 40 of the 45 home runs hit by the Gremlins on the season. Top to bottom, every single player in the starting lineup with at least 1 home run. Evans, as we said, with 5. Outside corner for a called strike, and Evans looks back, but he'll head back to the dugout. First out of the inning recorded by Cooley, and it'll bring up Brian Avery. Avery in the lineup in right field today. He's picked up some of the DP hitting duties during the course of the season. He and Blake Hunter, usually the 10th and 11th man in, but both of them hitting the ball very well. Avery comes in with a .392 average. He's got 20 hits on the season, despite the fact that he doesn't have as many at-bats as some of the others above him in the lineup. Avery from British Columbia, member of Team Canada, one of 3 Canadians on this team. They've got 5 from New Zealand, 3 from Canada, 3 from Argentina, 3 from Australia, a couple from the USA, and 1 from Mexico. That would be the pitcher, Sammy Villalvaso. Way upstairs with that one, doesn't chase Avery. So the count at 3-1, advantage Avery. Ball off the plate outside, so another walk. That's the second free pass issued by Cooley in the inning. Ochoa will head down to second, and Inoka still at third, so once again the Gremlins with the bases loaded. The batter will be Blake Hunter. He's got the designated player duties today, sporting a new uniform number 15. Hard grounder in the hole. It's short. Nice play. Flips over to third for the out, does Sam Neiman. Goes over into the 5.5 hole to cut it off. So a 6-5 put out on Ochoa. Second out of the inning. Coming in to score is Inoka and Avery. Moving over to second base. So it's the British Columbia boys on first and second. And we're down to the 8th spot in the batting order. Ladislao Malarchik from Argentina. Ladislao, longtime member of this New York Gremlins team. He's been a mainstay of that Gremlin defense all year long. There have been a few interchangeable parts in the lineup, but Malarchik getting most of the starts at second base. Tane Mumu, the fine young New Zealander, starting at second base a couple of times when Ladislao has not. In on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Good location by Joel Cooley. Tough task to try and stop the freight train that has been the New York Gremlin offense of late, or all season long for that matter. That one goes to the screen, gets away from catcher Plattner. Runners moving up on the wild pitch. So it's Avery now at third and Hunter at second. Malarchuk came into the game with a .319 average. He's got 13 hits on the season. He's got a couple of home runs. Misses upstairs and yet another walk. So the problem of walks all year for opposing pitchers. Once again loading the bases for the Gremlins. And to the 9 spot we go for Nick Mullins. Nick, the catcher for the USA national team, one of the finest pitch callers in the game. In for a called strike. Mullins, the catcher for the USA, and in the last World Cup, it was the young left-hander Brad Kilpatrick we talked about from the Ostrander team. Pitched the USA to a bronze medal. First time the USA has been back on the podium in quite some time. And a lot of people give Mullins a big part of the credit for helping Kilpatrick in his pitching duties for the USA. That one stays upstairs for a ball. Two-one is the count, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Gremlins. Just underway, first inning action, Gremlins on top. Little hopper down to third. He'll step on the bag for out number 3. Side retired. For the Gremlins in the inning, they pick up 3 on 1-2 hits, a couple of walks, and we'll head to the top half of the second inning. Be back with more right after this. Top half of the second inning for Marchio Sausage. Just a quick note on the scoreboard. We're waiting for the scoreboard to catch up with the actual score. Now showing 3-0 Gremlins. That is the correct number they scored. Kirkpatrick back in the circle for the Gremlins. Kirkpatrick in the top of the first had 3 strikeouts, gave up a couple of hits, but managed to survive that. Carlos Luke. So Lugo retired on strikes. That's 4 in the game already for Kirkpatrick. And Joe Newton will step in, first pitch swinging, grounder foul. Little flare into center field. That one's going to fall in for a base hit. Similar to the single that Creasy had last inning. just stayed behind the ball, not hard hit, not hard enough to get to Inoka. So Newton is aboard with a one-out single, and Corey Stevens will be the batter. Sort of an excuse-me swing, but in no man's land it fell. Stevens shows bunt, doesn't get it down. "20 teams here in Mankato, Minnesota. It's the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. Swing and a miss on that one. A quick snap throw down to Ochoa. That chases Newton back to the bag. One out, one on. And Stevens now against Kirkpatrick with a 1-1 count. In for a called strike, so 2 on Corey Stevens. Grounder foul. That one came inside to Stevens. Pretty hard pitch to do very much with. In on the hands. It's coming down and snapping hard. Just off the plate outside. Kirkpatrick thought he had the third one there. Two-two pitch, swing and a miss, gets away from Mullins. And with the base runner at first, the out is recorded. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 5 on the day already for Kirkpatrick. There you see it on the replay. Up and out of the zone. No chance to catching up with that one. So 2 outs recorded by Kirkpatrick, and down to the 9 spot we go. Tomas Machuca. Swing and a foul tip straight back to the screen. Machuca, another one of the fine Argentine players. He is the third baseman today for Marchio Sause. 2022 ISC2 champions. Inside, just missing. Same part of the plate. Andrew will work all day long. He'll pound it inside. Hard drop. Very effective pitch on the right-handers. And he comes away with that one, in for a called strike. Swing and a miss on that one. Down on strikes goes Machuca. So once again, Kirkpatrick, 3 strikeouts in the inning. Gives up the hit for Marchio Sausage. No runs, the 1 hit. And 1 left to the home half of the second we go. We'll be right back with more great action from the USA Softball National Championship here in Mankato, Minnesota. Home half of the second inning, and it's a familiar lineup once again as the Gremlins batted around in the first inning, scoring 3 runs. Here's Matthew Waugh for his second look at Joel Cooley. Waugh reached on a single his first time up, came around to score the first run of the game. That one's in for a call, strike on the outside edge. Waugh, member of Team Canada's national squad from the Quebec City area of Canada. As we mentioned, 27 hits on the year already for Matthew. He is the leading hitter in that category for the Gremlins. Also leads in runs scored, no surprise there. And responsible for those big RBI totals for the fellows behind him. Goes the other way with that one. Little flare, lazy fly ball out to left fielder Corey Stevens. He'll make the play for the out. Here you see on the replay, just kind of went the other way with it, but dipped his bat a little. Got under that one, so the out recorded. Jerome Ramaki will step in. Jerome walked in his first trip to the plate last inning. Came around to score the second run for the Gremlins. Little changeup off the outside part of the plate. An important pitch to have in your arsenal if you're pitching against these Gremlins is the changeup. You've got to do something to try and keep them off balance, try and disrupt their timing. Not too many pitchers have had much success this season against them. 2-0 now. Little flare. That one's going to be out of play over on the left side. We talked about the win streak and their current record of 25 wins against 1 loss, the first game of the year. If you're wondering who the loss came to, it was the Bear Creek Express. First game of the year in the Chiefs Challenge up in Simcoe, Ontario, Canada. Little lazy fly ball, much like the one Matthew Waugh hit. A little bit deeper, but same result. So 2 up and down quickly as Cooley gets the first 2 batters on fly balls. The 2 pitchers for the Bear Creek Express that did beat the Gremlins, it was Ryan Mannion and Schofield pitching for them. They teamed up to win the game. In that first game loss, Inoka had a home run. It was the only run scored by the Gremlins. Here's Benny back for his second at-bat. Reached on an infield single, came around to score the 3rd run of the game. In for a called strike, lays off the high one. Not the pitch he was looking for. Little changeup misses inside. So the count 2-1 to Benny Noka. Lays off the low one. Inoka, of course, a longtime member of the New Zealand Black Sox national team. Has played at the international level for better part of a decade or more. One of the leaders in most of the offensive categories on this team. He takes a walk. Fourth free pass of the day issued by Cooley. He walked 3 in the first inning. It'll be up to Eric Ochoa to try and get Inoka around. Ochoa reached on the error at second base his first trip to the plate. In for a called strike on the outside edge. Good place to pitch him, but he likes to go the other way. If you leave it in over the plate a little bit too much, he'll hit that 5.5 hole with frequency. Same location, same result. So Cooley painting some nice strikes here in the second inning on Ochoa. Off on the pitch is Inoka, but it's foul tipped. Ochoa will use all of the field, but especially partial to going the other way. The gap in left center and the 5.5 hole between the shortstop. Today that would be Neiman at short and Machuca over at third. Their corners are just about even with the bag. Machuca maybe a step behind his at third. Hard grounded to short, gets by Neiman on into center field. Moving up to second on the play is Inoka, and Ochoa with a clean single. See if we can watch it on the replay. Watch him go the other way with it. The weight open, transfer. That one going up the middle for the base hit. So runners at first and second, still 2 outs, and it'll be Cole Evans stepping in. Evans caught looking his first trip to the plate. Lays off the high one. Evans now with coming up on 8 years of experience at the international level. He was a 16-year-old starting shortstop for the New Zealand Black Sox back in 2015. Laces one to center. Coming around third is Inoka. He'll score. Hard single by Cole Evans drives in Inoka. So the Gremlins on top 4-0. So after being called out on strikes, Evans was not going to lay back on pitches the second time around. Gets a single to drive in a run. Here's Brian Avery. Avery, a very reliable hitter. About midway through the season, the Boys of Summer in Wisconsin tournament, Benny Noka went down with an injury. Avery came in and finished his at-bat. So he had to come in with a count already underway, and all he did was hit the first pitch into right field for a 2-run single. Avery with 4 home runs on the season. Right down the heart of Main Street with a called strike. Cooley started the inning, got a couple of fly balls out of Wah and Rimaki. Looked like he might have a shorter inning. But then the walk and a couple of base hits, and the Gremlins now with another run on the board, the score at 4-0. Two-one count to Avery. In for a call strike right across the letters on Avery. Blake Hunter waiting on deck. Foul tip off the screen. It's a 4-diamond complex here at Caswell Park in Mankato. So 3 other games going on while we're playing this one. We'll try and keep you up to date on scores as they become available, but want to encourage you to visit the website and Twitters. Follow the scoring updates throughout the tournament. CaswellSports.com is the website for the tournament. Caught on a fly by center fielder Damon Creasy for the outside, retired, but the Gremlins add another. And we'll head to the top half of the third. Be right back after this. Marchio Sausage, and top of the order we are back to Sam Neiman. Neiman a strikeout victim his first time at the plate. He'll be followed in the inning by Damon Creasy and Juan Plattner. Kirkpatrick with an ERA in the season thus far of 2.15 in his 52 innings pitched. He's got 58 strikeouts, or had 58 strikeouts coming into the day, already with a handful to add to that total, and that's against only 7 walks. So great strikeout to walk ratios for all of the Gremlin pitching staff. The youngster Jack Bisgrove with 57 innings, just a few more than Kirkpatrick. He's got 108 strikeouts. Little slow roller to short. Evans will have to hurry, and across the diamond to Ochoa for the out. There you see the replay, sort of a lazy roller. Evans cleanly and over to Ochoa for the out. So Damon Creasy will step in. Creasy with a little flare single his first time up. Swing and a miss on the changeup. High pop fly out into right field. Coming on is Avery, but he's going to run out of real estate. That ball hits the top of the fence. The fences around the outfield on the baseline sides are about 10 feet or better. So it's not the kind of fence you can reach over. You either get to it or you don't. Breakaway fences in the outfield, championship depth all the way around. Beautiful facility here in Mankato. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. So down on strikes goes Creasy for the second out. Here you see the location by Kirkpatrick. Up in the zone, not able to catch up with it is Creasy. The batter is Juan Plattner. Plattner, a strikeout victim, his first time up. In for a call. Strike right down the heart of Main Street with that one. Neiman to start the inning with a ground out to short was the first out recorded by anything other than a strikeout. Changeup, he floats it up there and swinging, waving at it, shaking his head as if to say that's not fair. Trying to hit the hard stuff, and then he floats one by him. Tries to make contact on that one. He does. Back to the screen with a strike. 0-2 advantage to Kirkpatrick. Little one on the outside edge, floats just off the plate. Kirkpatrick looking for that final strike. Defense for the Gremlins straight away. Corners even with the bag. Swing and a miss on the big roundhouse rise ball. So down goes Plattner. 2 strikeouts in the inning for AK. That gives him 8 on the day through 3 innings. For Marchio Sausage, no runs, no hits, no one left. To the home half of the third we go. New York Gremlins on top 4-0. We'll be back with more. Home half of the third inning is for the New York Gremlins. They are on top in this one by a 4-0 score. You're watching the 2023 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship going on here in Mankato, Minnesota, about 90 minutes down the road from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Beautiful city named among the best small cities in America. We had a chance to stroll through the downtown area last night. Lots of historical buildings. A couple of hundred of those wind up on the National Register of Historical Places. You see the Blake Hunter will step in for the Gremlins in the inning. It'll be Hunter, Malarchuk, and Mullins. 7, 8, 9 for the Gremlins. Misses inside. Hunter has some amazing stats. He's been a platoon player, so he doesn't have as many at-bats as some of the others. 10 hits on the year, but only one of those was a single. He's got 3 doubles and 6 home runs. So he's near the top of the run production categories, even with half as many at-bats as some of the other players. Swings at a changeup. About a day in front of that one for a call or for a swinging strike. Hunter, one of the 2 British Columbian players from Canada on this Gremlin team. Lifted high into left field, back towards the fence, going back, and it's gone. Home run, Blake Hunter, number 7 on the year. That'll put him even with Inoka and Raymaki. Looked like a high fly ball, but the jet stream got it. It just kept carrying, and Creasy and Stevens out in left center field just ran out of real estate. So the Gremlin add another one there. You see on the replay, outfielders going back. Looked like they had a beat on it for a while, but too big for this ballpark was that ball. Swing and a miss by Malarchuk. So the anomaly in the hitting stats for Hunter continues. So that'll give him 11 hits on the year and still only 1 single. So I guess the moral of the story is if you want an extra base hit, Hunter's your guy. Hunter, of course, started out the season his first as a Gremlin with that big grand slam home run against Hill United to win the Chiefs Challenge. Meanwhile, Malarchuk bangs one off of Cooley off his leg that winds up out into left field. Let's watch the replay on that one. Straight back, right off the shin it looked like, or the kneecap, and winds up in left field. Malarchuk heading into second base on the play. So just like the balls that come off the glove, they tend to dribble away and give the runner an extra base. That one winds up in left field, and Malarchuk takes the extra base. Inside pitch hits Mullins. There you see it. Looked like he just lost the grip coming in on a drop ball. Came in too far inside. Mullins will be aboard, but only for a moment. He will give way to Tane Mumu, the fine young New Zealander who will come on to run for him. Mumu actually a shortstop when he came in. Tends to play more at second base for the Gremlins with his country mate Cole Evans, the veteran, at short. He'll come on to run for Mullins and back to the top of the order to Matthew Waugh. Just misses with that one. Plattner's going to go out and have a word with Joel Cooley. The Gremlins with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and now 1 more in the third on the Blake Hunter home run. Grounder up the middle. Coming around third is Malarchuk. He will score. The throw comes in at third. Mumu standing safely. And down to second goes Matthew Waugh on the throw. So credit Matthew Waugh with a single and the RBI. Runners now at second and third. The batter will be Jerome Raymaki. Gremlins on top, 6-0. Hard one up the middle. That's a clean single for Remaki. Coming in to score is Mumu. Right behind him, Matthew Waugh. So the score now at 8 on the RBI single by Remaki. Let's watch the replay. A little bit too much of the plate. He just goes up the middle. Didn't try and pull it. That'll bring a visit from the skipper, Mr. Marchio. And we'll see if maybe a pitching change. Four runs in the inning. A tough task for any pitcher facing this Gremlins team right now. They have just been on fire offensively all season long. No easy places. You get down to 7, 8, 9, and you won't find any help there either. The task right now for Cooley is to try and keep his team in the game and away from the run rule. We're in the third inning. Right now the score at 8. In for a call. Try good location away from the right-hander Inoka. Little lazy drop on the inside part of the plate, taken for a ball. Cooley, longtime member of the USA national team. Plenty of international experience. Misses upstairs with that one. Joel's made some good pitches on the day, generally when he's been working the edges away on the right-handers. That one gets a little bit too much of the plate. Grounded foul down the foul line. The inning started with the Blake Hunter home run to left field. Malarchuk followed that with a single. Nick Mullins hit by a pitch. Matthew Waugh a single, and Remaki likewise. Remaki the lone base runner right now. Foul straight back to the screen by Inoka. Two-two pitch from Coley. Into the 5.5 hole, flagged down by Neiman. He'll go the long way back to first, not in time, but a great effort by Neiman at short, keeping that ball in the infield. So credit Inoka with an infield single. Great effort. Watch the replay here. He goes all the way back to the grass, down to a knee, still comes up with a throw. Good effort by the young short. To second base on the play, so first and second for the Gremlins. And it's Eric Ochoa at the plate. Cooley misses high with that one. Ochoa 1 for 2 so far on the day. Reached on an error. That ball was hit to second base and then went up the middle for a single last time up. The lazy changeup misses away. Two-0 pitch, laced into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming on to field it is Lugo. He gets the ball back in, but Remaki checks in with another run. Moving over to third on the play is Benny Inoka. So runners at the corners for the Gremlins. And the margin now at 9 here in the third inning. Cole Evans steps in. Evans 1 for 2 with a single to center last time up, and he is hit by the pitch. Wearing that little padding on the elbow, looks like it plunked him right there. So once again, the Gremlins with the bases loaded. 2 hit batters on the day for Cooley. He plunked Nick Mullins last time up. Here's Brian Avery. Avery, the 9th batter in the inning for the Gremlins. In for a called strike. There's that pitch we were talking about when he works the edges away from the right-handers. It's an effective pitch. Little change up high with that one, misses. Tough task for pitchers. You make 2 or 3 good pitches and then you make the one mistake. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball from Cooley. Elevates that one, coming well under with the arm and the release point. So a couple of good pitches against Avery. He's got Avery in a hole, 1 and 2. Grounder up on third. It'll be foul. It's Inoka at third, Ochoa at second, and Cole Evans over at first base for the Gremlins. 9-0 is the score. Little 40-foot drop on that one down in the dirt. Marchio, as we mentioned, a win last night in their opener against the Pueblo Bandits. So this is their second game of this national championship. That one's laced into left center field. Coming in to score is Inoka. Right behind him is Ochoa. Cole Evans moving over to second on the RBI single. Off the bat of Brian Avery. So 2 more runs checking in for the Gremlins. The score now at 11. A little pop foul over on the right side. Marchio giving chase and makes a going away over the shoulder catch. Nice play by Dominic Marchio. Looked like it might go out of play, but Marchio did not give up on it. Chased it all the way to the fence and makes a nice catch. So Hunter retired, and the batter Ladislao Malarchuk. Malarchuk reached on a walk, reached on a single, hits one into deep left field, going back to the fence. Gone! Home run, Ladislao Malarchuk. That'll clear the bases for the Gremlins. We'll want to see that one on the replay, but he just went the other way with it. Got it up in that jet stream, and much like Blake Hunter's home run, you'll see it carry. Let's watch the location. A little bit too much of the zone. Good launch angle by Malarchuk, and the ball just carries right on out of the ballpark. We're at 14-0 Gremlins, and to the 9 spot, Nick Mullins. In for a call strike. I'll double check my notes, but I believe the run rule after 3 is 15, so we'll see how that plays out. High fly ball. This one's going to be playable. Corey Stevens backing up. He'll make the catch about 5 or 10 feet in front of the fence. So Mullins retired. Let's watch that on the replay. Just a little bit under it. Just missed it. So the second out recorded. And we'll see a pinch hitter, Gonzalo Masmu, will step in. So Masmu hitting for Matthew Waugh. Masmu at one point in the season was something like 7 for 7, sporting 1,000 batting average. It's dropped a little bit, but he's still up in the stratosphere. I think 500 plus in the batting average category. Masmu, a good young product out of Argentina. That one's in for a called strike. See that wide open stance by Masmu. Wide open, and then as the pitch comes, he steps towards the pitcher. So a 10-run outburst here in the third inning for the Gremlins. They have batted around. Misses downstairs. Looked like a little change drop on that one, trying to take a little bit off of it. Wayne Laulu coming out on deck to swing a bat. Looks like he'll hit for country mate Jerome Raymaki if we get that far. Hard one hit into left field, right between short and third. And Masmu with yet another hit. And we will get to see Wayne Laulu. Coach Greg Hicks over at first base having a little chat with Masmu. Greg Leather, the skipper, comes out to give the substitution of Laulu to our home plate umpire. Laulu, a platoon player this year, but lots of power. Had a big towering home run on the final day in the Peligro Cup in New York City. And despite the fact that he has fewer at-bats than a number of the other players, he's right up there in the home run tally. Good over-the-top drop from Cooley on that one. Laced into left field for a base hit. Laulu to first. Down to second goes Masmu, and the inning continues. So Masmu hitting for Wah, reaches on a hit. Laulu likewise hitting for Ramaki, reaches on a hit. And we're back to Benny Noka. His second at-bat of the inning. He had the infield single earlier in the inning. Benny 2 for 2 on the day, had a walk to go with that. He scored 3 times, 3 of the 14 runs by the Gremlins. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate on Inoka. That drop away. Same location, same result. A couple of good pitches from Joel Cooley. He's ahead 0-2. Foul tip. That one's going to be up and out of play over on the right side. Oh, and 2 changeup, hit high but shallow. Back at short as Neiman calls off the outfielders. He'll make the catch for the final out. The Gremlins add a 10 spot. 14-0 as we head to the fourth. We'll be back right after this.
What from 7, 8, 10? What room?
10 after 4? 15 after 3. I think 10 after 4. So they need to score here. I think.
Now the first 10 rooms. Now 10 rooms.
10 or 12, I'm not sure, but
12.
the 12, yo no sé.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Top half of the fourth inning for Marchio Sause after a given inning. In the bottom of the third against the Gremlins. The score now at 14-0. Run ahead to the territory. Marchio would have to put some runs on the board. With a base hit his first time up against Kirkpatrick. In for a called strike on that one. Gibbons, as we said, just 18 years of age, very talented young player, both pitching and hitting. Tries to lay off the changeup, gets just a piece of it. Tried to hold back. So Kirkpatrick ahead 0-2. Misses high with that one, 1-2. We see the Ostrander team coming into the diamond here, waiting for their game, which will follow. They had a tough loss last night to AWP. Probably the most exciting game on Thursday night was Ostrander and AWP. Went right down to the wire. Cody Panabecker a home run in that one. That game featured Brad Kilpatrick for Ostrander, and Marco Diaz throwing as harder than anyone in the tournament right now. He picked up the win for AWP. So Gibbons down on strikes, 1 out in the inning. It'll be Dominic Marchio to step in for the Sausage Squad. Kirkpatrick with 3 strikeouts in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the third, and starts off the fourth with 1. So the tally at 9 right now. Marchio gives up a little bit of the bat, chokes up, and looks at one on the outside edge. Good location by Kirkpatrick, just misses inside. Marchio lays off. Dominic looking for something he can put in play. Swings and misses. That ball in the outside part of the plate. So Kirkpatrick, he'll bust you in and then throw it away. Goes away with that one again. That one's fouled out of play. So the count at 2-2 on Dominic Marchio. The namesake for this Marchio Sausage team from Minnesota. And he'll call time. Swing and a foul tip straight back to the screen. Defensively, by the way, for the Gremlins, Laulu entered the game. He went to first. Looks to be Eric Ochoa over to third and Masmu in left. Little slow roller picked up by to make the out. Looked like Kirkpatrick was going to come up and make the play, but he gave way to Malarchuk, the out recorded. And the batter, Carlos Lugo. Lugo swinging down on strikes last time, waves at that one. Lugo well off the plate. Kirkpatrick worked him away last time. Does it again, a little flare down the line. Just foul. Just missed a chalk line double on that one, did Lugo. So he will come back to the plate with an 0-2 count. Kirkpatrick trying to close it out here. Lays off the drop down in the dirt. Laced into left field for a clean single. Waited for the pitch he wanted, got it. So Lugo aboard with a 2-out single. And the batter will be Joe Newton. Good piece of hitting you see there by Lugo. Having a quick chat with Wayne Laulu down at first base. Wayne giving him a little congratulations on the base hit. The batter, Joe Newton. Newton reached on a single to center his last time, or only time up in the game against Kirkpatrick. Nine strikeouts so far for Kirkpatrick. In for a call, strike. That one right down the middle. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Kirkpatrick elevates that one up and out of the zone. So no balls, 2 strikes. In for a call, 3rd strike, and number 10 recorded by Kirkpatrick, and that will be the ball game, folks. Final score in this one, the New York Gremlins 14, Marchio Sausage nothing. That is the 26th win in a row, and with that, they have tied the 1916 New York Giants for the longest winning streak. The Giants, as we mentioned, 26 back in 1916, and 100-plus years later, the New York Gremlins have matched them. The Gremlins will advance. They'll be back tonight to check the internet for the schedule. I believe it's a 9 p.m. local time start. We'll be back on the air. You've been watching the 2023 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from Mankato, Minnesota, here on the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll see you back this evening. So long.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com